Hello, this is the Jurassic expert here, back with another video doing a review on the new Mega Duel Attack Quetzalcoatlus. Um, so I didn't keep the UPC, but you can actually find that on Walmart.com and on and you could probably find somebody else who has the UPC. It, but yeah, off with that note, so yeah, I am reviewing the new Mega Duel Attack Quetzalcoatlus. Um, so yeah, let's actually start off with the action feature. So, you press the front button here on the back, and it does a very light kind of chomping feature. And then you press the back, and it flaps its wings. Let's see if I could get a better shot of that. There we go, there's a better shot. So, next, articulation-wise, there is very little articulation. It's the same kind of standard pterosaur articulation where you can move, like, the wings. There is a little swivel between the wings, so you could get some nice positions. So you could kind of get a dive bombing position or something like that. And also the legs do have a little hinge that allow them to move that much forward and that much back. So you can't really get this into, like, a perched position of any kind, really. Which would have been really nice, but alas. So yeah, paint-wise, I actually really do like this. So we get this nice orange on the beak. Do kind of wish that there was a little bit of fade on the underside of the beak, and there is paint in the mouth, on the tongue, and the little flesh membranes on the side. There is no paint on the upper side of the mouth, nor throughout the rest of the beak. There is this really nice light blue on the top of the head, along with this kind of faded yellowish orange on the back of the neck. That does fade off. And there is a little bit of this nice purple patterning on the little crest there. And yeah, they did kind of paint the eyes. It's kind of standard quote-unquote painting of the eyes, where pretty much there's a little bit of a orange dot, but there's a little bit carved out in the middle where blue comes in, and I kind of wish that they just put a little bit black or something like that, because it kind of looks a little weird like that. So yeah, and while we're actually zoomed in, let's actually take a look at the sculpt. So for the mouth, they did even like sculpt in the little wrinkles in the mouth, and even little teeth there. They did even kind of sculpt in the grooves on the crest and the grooves in the beak and everything. It looks really nice. And they did mold all the folds and wrinkles in the skin. And they did even, for the wings, they did even mold the little veins and all in the wings. So yeah, that looks really nice. They did sculpt all the folds and wrinkles in the feet, including the nails, which they did not paint actually, and they did actually paint the little patch of kind of wing membrane on the sides of the leg. With a little bit of purple there, and I forgot to go over the paint with the wings. Yeah, I do like this kind of this nice faded purple with the vein kind of with the separation of like the veins and all that through the where like the bits of purple are broken up by the little painting of the veins and all that, even though they did already sculpt it, but it still looks really nice. They did not paint the underside of the wings, however, which would have been nice. And yeah, it's pretty much going to be almost impossible to get a Quetzalcoatlus with a perfect beak. But yeah, especially if you live in a warm area. Like mine was almost perfect with how straight its beak was, but I left it in the car for one day and it started curling upward, so Yeah, if it just awkwardly curls like that, that's why. Um, so yeah, for those of you that live in really hot areas, and if you want a nice looking beak, just keep it in a nice air conditioned home. Don't take it anywhere where it's going to be enclosed in a very warm space. Um, yeah. Overall quality, though, I do actually think it does feel a little fragile. The wing is obviously very flimsy, along with the legs. They're actually a lot more flimsier than I expected. Um, but other than that, I'd say quality is actually kind of okay with this. So, some fun facts about the Quetzalcoatlus was that it was a giant pterosaur that lived in the Cretaceous, and it was, I mean, it's been said to have been like the size of a giraffe when it's just like perched on the ground, said to be as tall as a giraffe. um so yeah, and there has been some debate of like the Quetzalcoatlus ability to even fly, but it's like, why would it have wings the way it does if it can fly? um so yeah, and overall, it's just one of the more, in my opinion, definitely one of the more interesting pterosaurs in the family. Um, so yeah, let's take a look at the card. So we get a nice image of Quetzalcoatlus there, and I think that is a really nice image there. You get Quetzalcoatlus at the top, you get the stats at the bottom, number 29, and nothing new going on with the back, just the Dino Rivals logo and the Jurassic World logo. That off to the side, let's actually do some comparisons now. So for your human comparison, here is the Quetzalcoatlus next to Owen Grady, and you'll get a really good idea of how big this thing is right now. So there is the Quetzalcoatlus, like its feet are touching the ground, and there's Owen Grady standing nice and tall there. Like there you go. Like there it is. Next to the body, there it is next. There he is next to like the head. It's just a lot more massive than I thought it was going to be. And next we have the Dimorphodon, and the Quetzalcoatlus dwarfs the Dimorphodon in every way. So yeah, and finally, probably the latest pterosaur that we have gotten from the Dino Rivals line. Here is the dual attack Pteranodon, and the Quetzalcoatlus is still much bigger, which is good because it was in real life. It was a lot bigger than Pteranodon, being being around the size of a giraffe, as I said earlier. So yeah. So overall, I do like this figure. I would suggest, if you are able to find it, definitely pick it up. I mean, and honestly, if you really are concerned about like the beak being bent and all that, really what I would recommend is just take a hairdryer or dip it in hot water or something. If you're younger though, definitely ask your parents for permission. Um, but yeah, so yeah, just a little bit of just put a little bit of a hairdryer, or dip it in a little bit of hot water, and just it'll go back into shape. Um, so yeah, with that, overall, again, I think this is a really great figure. Definitely one of Mattel. I mean, the only downside to this, really, for me, would be the fact that it doesn't have like a perched position, and that would have been really nice. But I could see, like, with the gimmick and everything, how that would conflict with that. But yeah, other than that though, I do think this is a really great figure. So as always, make sure to, oh yeah, here is the Jurassic Facts app. I almost forgot. There you go. So yeah, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I put up new videos like this one. And as always, dinosaurs might be older than you, but you are never too old for dinosaurs.